But first, a controversial Game 3. So we asked the question we normally reserve for illegal slides and blocking the plate. We ask, was Joe Musgrove of the Padres last night up to no good? First, pitcher usage of illegal substances is not a small issue. At the beginning of 2021, Major League Baseball informed clubs it would begin quantifying the effects of foreign substances in the sport and collecting balls taken out of play for inspection. New guidelines were announced in mid-June with a warning. As of June 21st, party's over, pitchers would be inspected, violators would be ejected and suspended for 10 games. Here's what happened. The effect was measured largely with spin rate. After June 21st, spin rates dropped for many top pitchers. On the whole, fastballs and breaking pitches were both down about 60 RPMs, revolutions per minute. Some elite pitchers lost about 100 to 150 RPMs. Kenley Jansen lost more than 150 on his cutter. You see, 156 RPMs. Garrett Cole lost quite a bit of spin on his four-seamer. Lost 145 RPMs. These are big numbers. Kershaw, Hill, Corbin Burns dropping around 100 after the crackdown. That's after the crackdown. Keep in mind, 100 is a lot. Here's what the Commissioner of Baseball said, Commissioner Rob Manfred, June of last year. It has become clear that the use of foreign substance has generally morphed from trying to get a better grip on the ball into something else, an unfair competitive advantage that is creating a lack of action and an uneven playing field. We have a responsibility to our fans and the generational talent competing on the field to eliminate these substances and improve the game. Remember, this was off the sign stealing scandal before 2020. Major League Baseball showed it was taking this issue seriously. And the crackdown worked. So what happened last night took us into new territory. Here's what Buck Showalter of the Mets said about his decision to have the umpires check Joe Musgrove last night.
You know, we have privy to a lot of things that point in that direction. Obviously, you know, I love him as a pitcher, always have, and that's the only thing I kind of, you know, I feel kind of bad about is that but it won't cast anything. He's too good a pitcher, and they're too good a, you know, without getting into a lot of things, you know, the spin rates and different things that I'm sure you're all aware of. You know, when you see something that jumps out at you. I get a lot of information in the dugout. I'm going to do what's best for our players in the New York Mets, and I felt like that was best.
There you go, Buck Showalter, spin rates. So the umpires checked, but these guys are just not equipped to do a sophisticated crime scene investigation on the field. The umps did an inspection on Musgrove, even going to his ears, which appeared quite shiny. That was noticed by many observers before the check. But, you know, they don't have a lab kit out there. What is the ump looking for? Does he know what a foreign substance feels like? Can he tell sweat from bullfrog? The league, when it looked to assess the use of foreign substances, used spin rate, the revolutions of the baseball. Using a sticky substance, a pitcher can greatly increase the revolutions of the baseball and thereby make it much more difficult to hit. And that is what was happening last night. Joe Musgrove's spin rate, take a look at this, way up from his regular season average. Last night and his regular season average. That's his season. That's what he did on Sunday. His fastball, his cutter, up over 100 RPMs. 102, the cutter 116, the sinker 105, but then the big moves. Changeup plus 174, curveball plus 170, the slider up 248 RPMs. That's not a normal jump. That's a huge jump. We just saw drops at about 100 when pitchers went from using the stuff to not using the stuff. And Musgrove's differences in spin are much, much bigger. Now, is it possible he changed his motion to get this type of action on his pitches? Yeah. Did he just feel great in a big game? Yeah. You can't rule anything out. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see him dress. But this type of jump, up and down, that was evident in June of 2021 when the rules changed. It was even bigger than those jumps. So here's the real problem. Let's say the umpires did think Musgrove was up to no good. What would they do? They can eject him. The league could suspend him. But what good does that do for the Mets when 6 shutout innings are in the bank? This game was a winner-take-all. The damage was already done. So the Padres celebrate, and they move on. The Mets are done. Joe Musgrove, he's a good pitcher. The Padres have good process at the plate. We've said that all year. They scratched out runs. They showed off their excellent defense. But in the aftermath of the sign stealing and foreign substance crackdowns, we're supposed to be very strict on these things, I thought. Something last night did not feel right.